This 26 Sports high school basketball presentation is presented by Cadillac Casting Inc.
And welcome back to Cadillac High School Friday Night Hoops, where the Cadillac Vikings have put the finishing touches on a 58-28 victory over the Manistee Chippewas in non-conference boys basketball action. Jay Simon and Kevin Gregory with you here. And 30-point win for the Vikings tonight. Obviously, head coach Coach Benzenberg happy with that to get out of here with a 30-point win. But more importantly for both teams, a lot of valuable minutes for every member of the team. The Vikings getting every single player on the roster in the books. Every player scored tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a coach, you hope you can do that every single night. But this gives you a great opportunity, like we were talking about during this broadcast. Hey, it's a next man up mentality. If somebody goes down and gets hurt, if somebody gets in foul trouble, you want to insert somebody to be a little spark plug, give you a lift off the bench. This is the time where you prove to the coach you can be the guy, and you got a lot of kids with the opportunity to do that.
Meanwhile, for the Chippewas, head coach Tina Miller getting some valuable experience for her players, and you mentioned it during the broadcast. They're a young team. I think we were both quite impressed. Jack Sandstead, who finishes with 6 points for the Chips, just a freshman brought up recently, wasn't even on the initial roster that we had to add him to it, so obviously brought up late. Lefty, didn't look scared out there at all. You know, a lot of times freshmen are a little unsure of themselves, and that young man, along with Jacob Gustad, who's just a sophomore, both getting some good minutes against a very good Big North team.
Yeah, we've seen it against with a ton of teams this year from all different conferences. It's awesome to see the growth from a freshman and a sophomore from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and even into your second year if you're a freshman. So good things to come from Manistee. They're laying the foundation for the program that's kind of on the rebound, so to speak, and doing the work, and this is part of the growing process.
Absolutely. Well, for the Vikings, Quinn Crago leads all scorers with 16 points. He had 13 of those in the first half, as Crago did what Crago does, and that is roam the middle, get a lot of rebounds and a lot of putbacks. And for the Chippewas, it just didn't have anybody with the height or the size to deal with the 6'6" Crago in the middle.
Yeah, we mentioned a few different times that he would get the ball and have 4 defenders around him, but still able to get clean looks and kick it out to his guards. And you have to credit Ethan Baker, just doing a fantastic job again today, facilitating, getting his team into the sets they want to be in. So he had a great game.
I'll run down the scoring for the rest of the Vikings, and normally I would do this in highest score down to lowest score, but it's a little tough. I can't follow it like that because everybody got into books, as mentioned. Keegan Brooks finishes with 3, Cooper Benson with a bucket. Hunter Rensbury hit a 3 in the fourth quarter that got the crowd on their feet. Ethan Baker with 2, Noah Zdradowski with a bucket. Cam McTaggart hit a couple of 3s for 6. Tyler Barczewski with a free throw for a point. Gavin Daniels finishes with 5. Spencer Fisher with a bucket. Should have had 5 with that long 3 at the end of the third quarter that got waved off. Vinny Genema finishes with 6 points. Caden Dennis with 4. And Joey Sundstrom with a couple of triples at the end of the game as well in the fourth to round out the scoring for the Vikings, who go 8 of 14 from the line tonight. Meanwhile, Alejandro Olvera, the best name in the game, finishes with 9 points for the Chippewas. Chase Swiderski finishes with 7. Jack Sandstead, as mentioned, finishes with 6. Spencer Helminski, Jacob Gustad and Andrew Pearson each finished with a bucket, and Tyler Peck, the junior, finishes with a bucket as well. 5 of 15 line for the Chips. That's going to do it for us. Want to thank our sponsors again: Trend Design, High Point Cadillac GMC, I'll make sure I get them, Pack Mail, Dynamic Physical Therapy, and Cadillac Casting Incorporated, and of course Pizza Plus, for feeding our crew, which includes Wyatt Van Dynen, Rain Johnson Hill, and Dakota Pike. For our Madam Director, Hannah Crouch. For Kevin Gregory, I'm Jay Simon. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you next week, Thursday, when Petoskey comes down here to Cadillac Big North Boys Basketball on My News 26 Sports. Have a good night.